A sack covered her head. A rope bound her wrists. Wind clawed at the rail camp, and men gathered around a crate. The foreman, Pike, stood on the box and waved a paper. He called it a debt note. He called the hooded woman Lot 1. Cole Mercer stepped out of the dust. He had a scout's eyes and a steady way of moving. He looked once at the woman, once at the paper, once at the gun at Pike's hip. Then he watched the crowd. They jangled coins. Coal smoke mixed with horse sweat. Pike raised his voice. Auction starts now. She's behind on the company script. Whoever pays gets the paper and the woman. Legal as iron. Cash only. The woman stood very still. The sack let in a little light. She heard numbers, not names. She did not cry. Her name was Iris Vale. $10, a man called. 15, another said. The numbers climbed. Pike grinned. You're buying a worker, he said. You're buying an asset, Cole spoke. She's not for sale. Laughter rose. Pike's smile thinned. You planning to argue with the ledger? He shook the paper so its red seal flashed. She signed. Owes the company. That's the law. 30, Cole said without looking at him. Buy yourself a wife, hero. Pike spread his hands. Any man who holds the paper holds her. He lifted the sack's edge so the crowd saw a cheek, bruised but calm. Iris tilted her head. Cole noticed. She was not broken. She was thinking. 35, Cole said. 40 closes it, Pike said. Cole peeled notes from a leather roll and set them in Pike's palm. The foreman weighed the money and slapped the paper against Cole's chest. Congratulations, Pike said. You just bought trouble. Cole held the paper by one corner like a dirty rag. He turned to the men. It's over, he said. His voice carried. A few drifted away. A few didn't. Pike pushed the rope into Cole's hand. Lead her, he said. His smile waited for a fight. Cole didn't give him one. He loosened the rope. He spoke low to the woman. I'm going to touch the sack, he said. I'll walk you out. He turned her toward the livery where lamplight waited and hay cut the smoke. Inside the livery it was dim and quiet. Horses shifted. The boy who kept the feed ducked into a stall. Cole set the rope aside and eased the sack up and off. The woman blinked. Her eyes were steady. I'm Cole Mercer, he said. I paid to end the sale. He pinched the paper between two fingers. Fire came to mind fast. It felt clean. A lantern hung on a peg. A small iron stove below held a thin bed of coals. One breath would wake them. Burn the papers, Cole said. The woman caught his hand. Her fingers were sure. Wait, she said. Her voice was soft and even. She lifted the page by one corner and ran her thumb across the red seal. This is not one page, she whispered. There's a second sheet pressed in the wax, Cole frowned. You're certain? Hold the lamp. She warmed the seal and worked the edge with a nail. The wax softened. A thin skin of paper peeled up, dull and gray. Under it, faint lines and letters showed through like a map seen through fog. Her mouth set. They're not only holding me, she said. They're holding the valley. This second page ties names to one ditch and one man. If we burn it, there's no proof. If we keep it, there is a way to stop him. Who? Pike, she said. And the hand that pays him. Wind rattled the tin roof. The camp sounded like a river under ice. Cole watched the thin sheet flex in the lantern glow. He let the urge to end it with fire pass. All right, he said. No burning. Not yet, he met her eyes. Your name? Iris, she said. Iris Vale. Can you ride Iris Vale? Yes. Then we're riding. Cole slid both sheets under the lining of his coat. He tied the sack to a beam, a thing left behind. He checked his rifle, then left it on the rack. He would not give Pike the fight he wanted. He saddled a bay mare and handed Iris the reins. Her hands were steadier now. We'll go to the section line, he said. We'll meet a judge at dawn. How? She began. Signals, he said. Old habit, he opened the door. Night leaned in truly wide. The camp roared somewhere distant. Cole looked once toward the foreman's tent, then stepped into the dark with Iris beside him. 2 words had started this. The rest would decide on a valley. They moved through the camp like water, finding cracks. Lanterns swung. Cole kept Iris close to the canvas and horse lines, using noise for cover. "Chin down," he said. "Walk like you belong." "I belong to no man," she said. Crates marked lime and nails made a path to the road. A man stepped into it, hat low, badge dull. "The deputy." "Evening," he said. "Law likes to see the paper." "Pike has his money," Cole said. "I have the paper." "Then show it." "Tomorrow," Cole said. The deputy slid a boot, blocking him. "Tonight suits me." Cole reached toward his coat as if for the document. The deputy's eyes dropped for a breath. Cole stepped through, shoulder brushing. At the livery's back door, Cole brought a bay for Iris and a sorrel for himself. He lifted her. She settled cleanly. "Can you ride hard?" "I can ride true." They trotted out, hooves hollow on plank, then soft on sand. Smoke gave way to wet stone. Camplight fell behind them. Sage and low hills took over. "Where is the judge?" Iris asked. "On the Grafton Road," Cole said. "If he sees my lantern code from the ridge, he'll meet us at the section marker at dawn." "You know his code?" "I taught him mine." They climbed a knoll with a dead pine. Cole hid the lantern's shine behind a saddlebag. He drew out the debt page and the thin gray sheet Iris had freed from wax. "We should know what we carry." Iris warmed the seal and read the faint letters. "Names," she said. "Widow Arnett. The Torres brothers. The Harris place. Advance on the first page, surrender on this one." Her mouth set. "Not debts, ropes." The thin sheet showed ditches and headgates. A bold line ran from the North Fork to the rail spur, then off the map. "One ditch to rule the rest," Iris said. "And the signatures," Cole said, tapping the bottom lines, each with the same tight curl. "One hand making many." "Pike is the fist, not the head," Iris said. "Someone wants the spur to drink first. Water is the coin." Cole folded the papers and slid them under his coat. "So the stakes are the valley," he said. "And the people," Iris said. "If we burn the proof, they'll call us liars. If we show it, they'll stand. I can read their names in the square. I taught half their children. You taught?" "In the church, evenings," he nodded. "Then we give them daylight." He opened a slit on the shuttered lantern and sent 3 patterns across the dark. After a breath, a faint wink answered from the road. "He saw," Cole said. "He'll make for the marker." "What will Pike do?" "Send guards," Cole said. "And the deputy." They dropped into a dry wash where sand softened their tracks. The sky was a thin ribbon of stars. Iris rode without chatter. When she spoke, it was to point. A fresher hoof print, a broken reed, a gleam where water sometimes ran. They climbed from the wash to a low bench. Below lay fields and a headgate's pale boards. Moonlight showed the main ditch whispering. Across the field stood a chest-high stack of stones with an iron rod, the section marker. The law said whoever proved a rightful claim controlled the turn. "From here we ride open ground," Cole said. "No cover. If they come, we won't outrun them. We'll outthink them." "How?" "By giving them what they expect," he said. "Fire." He took a scrap of worthless paper. "We'll let them see flames." "And the real pages?" "In your bodice lining for now," Cole said. "Later under the rock." Iris slid the thin sheet and debt page into a stitched pocket inside her dress. Far off, a bell counted miles. The judge's wagon rolled this way. Closer, lights moved along the camp road, lanterns in a cluster. "Pike's men. They're coming," Iris said. "Good," Cole said. "Let them see a bonfire." They eased toward the marker. At the bench edge, Cole halted. He piled dry weeds and broken slats on bare ground. Flint sparked. Flame lifted. "Hold this," he said, giving Iris the scrap. He raised the debt page as if to feed it to the fire, letting the light paint his face for watchers. Then he lowered the real page and let only the scrap kiss flame. Paper curled and blackened. "Loud enough?" Iris asked. "Loud," Cole said. Downslope, lanterns bobbed faster. The deputy's voice carried. "Hold there!" Cole leaned close. "When they circle, ride through the gap on my left." Put your hand on the stone and do not lift it. And you? I'll keep them looking the wrong way, he said. Wind rose. The fire popped, and the valley waited to choose a side. Lanterns scattered on the slope like angry stars. Cole weighed wind and ground. The fire made a bright line between him and Iris. Circle left, he said. When I step back, you go, Iris nodded. Lights broke into the men's. The deputy rode in front. Mercer, he shouted. Hands high. Papers in the fire or in my hand. Cole raised the debt page so it caught the light. The men leaned toward the heat. He let a worthless scrap burn bright, held by tongs, a stand-in for the real thing. Now, he said. Iris put her heels to the bay and cut across the slope. 2 guards turned late. Cole stepped into their view and tossed weeds onto the flames. Heat jumped. Voices swore. The deputy's horse shouldered through. Stop that girl! Cole drew no gun. He took a shovel from the fire and sent a storm of coals onto the deputy's path. The horse checked. Cole dropped the shovel, caught the bridle, and pushed it aside. A guard swung. Cole bent, took the man by belt and sleeve and turned him into the dirt. Iris reached the flats. The marker stood ahead, a waist-high stack of stones. The law said touch meant claim until a judge could hear. She slid from the saddle and set her palm on the top stone. She did not lift it. Lantern light washed over her. Boots scraped. 3 men slowed, wary of the rod and the woman who held it. You think that pile saves you? One spat. It saves the valley, Iris said. Names are on these pages. We'll take them, a guard said. You'll take nothing if you cross this line, she said. The judge meets us at dawn. They looked at the iron, at each other, and at the deputy choking on smoke uphill. Cole came off the rise at a run. He slid between Iris and the nearest man and set his own hand on the stones beside hers. 2 hands, 1 claim. Stand easy, he told the guards. You crowd the market, you make it worse for your paymaster. Pike said bring the girl, one muttered. Pike says many things, Cole said. Ask him who signs his pay. Far off a lantern bobbed. The judge's wagon climbed the ridge. The deputy wiped ash from his mouth and advanced again, gun up. You think that judge will side with you? He'll side with the law, Cole said. And the law is stones and lines. Under her sleeve, the stitched pocket pressed against Iris's ribs, the thin gray sheet and the debt page safe against her heartbeat. Listen, she called. Widow Arnett. The Torres brothers. The Harris place. Your names are here. Meet the judge at dawn. 2 porch lights answered across the dark. The deputy saw the lights and swore. You're rousing the town. No, Iris said. Truth is, he stepped closer. The paper. Give it. At dawn, Cole said. The deputy aimed low at Cole's thigh. Cole moved first. He took the iron rod that topped the marker and spun it like a staff, never lifting his palm from the stone. The rod struck the deputy's wrist. The gun popped and skittered. A guard lunged. Cole swept his legs. Enough, Cole said. Back off the line. A hush fell. The guards were hired, not bound. A whistle cut through the dark. The judge's wagon creaked into view, lantern steady. An older man stood in coat and hat, reins in one hand, a tin whistle in the other. He took in the fire, the men, the iron, the hands on stone. Evening, he said. If a claim is made at the market, I'll hear it at dawn. If anyone shifts this stack before then, I'll fine him, jail him, and write his mama about it. The deputy squared up. Judge, the company will speak under the sun, the judge said. Until then, nobody takes a lady from a lawful stand. He looked to Cole and Iris. Keep your hands where they are. I'll camp on the road and be back with first light. The wagon rolled past. For a breath, nobody moved. Cole spoke without turning his head. We hold now. We don't sleep. We use the time. How? Iris asked. By making the ground smarter than the men who will cross it, he said. The deputy scraped a heel. We'll be back with more. Bring them, Cole said. Bring Pike. He looked at the ditch boards shining pale. Water whispered there. Cole knew 2 tricks to turn a whisper into a shout. Stay with the stone, he told Iris. If I move away, it's for something worth the risk. I will not lift my hand, she said. He nodded and stepped into the night to start drawing lines the dawn would show. Cole moved like a map and his head had woken. He walked the ground in slow arcs, reading slope and shadow. He set his heel where water would run if pushed, and where men might stumble if they hurried in the dark. "Talk to me," he said to Iris. "Names. Who will come if called?" She kept her palm on the stones. "Widow Arnett will come. The Torres brothers with shovels. The Harris place is fair. The deacon owns the bell rope." "Good," Cole said. "Keep calling." Iris lifted her voice. She named families, ranches, and claims. Farfields answered with thin lights. Cole took a spade and cut a shallow crescent trench above the marker, then laid brush across it. "What is it?" she asked. "A wake-up," he said. "Men who rush will trip. Men who trip will lose nerve." He moved to the headgate. Boards groaned. He lifted the top plank and felt the pull. The ditch whispered harder, then hushed as he lowered it part way. "Can you read water?" he asked. "I can read silence," Iris said. "When water stops, somebody is holding it. When it roars, somebody set it free. Tonight it needs to roar on time," Cole said. He set a wedge under the plank, tied it with a cord, and ran the cord to a stake near the marker. "What does that do?" "If I pull here, the plank jumps and sends a rush across the flats," he said. "Not enough to drown a man, enough to change his mind." He paced back, marking lines with his boots. He piled sand in small humps and hid smooth stones inside. "Rolling, ankle turning, not cruel. Hired guards fight for money," he said. "Give them a reason to go home." Iris watched his hands. She could see the shape of the night now. Trip, splash, glare, retreat. Hooves thudded from the north. 2 riders stopped at the flats and raised a lantern. "Mercer," one called. "Pike wants words." "Pike can have them at dawn," Cole answered. "Ahead of dawn," the man said. "He says the girl is property. She is a person, and she is on the stone," Cole said. The riders talked low and pulled back to the shadow line. "They are measuring us," Iris said. "They will measure wrong," he said. "Can you hold that through the night?" "Yes. If your arm aches, tell me. We will wrap it around the stake with my bandana." She smiled once quickly. "I will not ask yet." He circled behind the marker. He buried a tin cup halfway and threaded the cord through its handle so it would sing if pulled too hard. He set another line to the iron and laid its end under a flat rock. Touch the rod and the rock would drop with a clack. Down ditch he found a washout where last month's storm had cut a lip. He packed brush into it and smeared it with mud. It would look like ground until a boot hit it, then swallow a foot to the ankle. "Tell me about Pike," he said. "How did he set his hook in you?" Iris kept her voice level. "A cousin took sick. I signed up for medicine. The price moved like sand. Each week I owed more." He said the books were honest. "The church asked me to teach. Kids drew their farms and creeks. I saw the same line on their maps that I see on this thin sheet, one bold ditch where there should be many." "What did you do?" "I asked questions," she said. Pike stopped answering. A week later, the deputy came with a rope. Cole's jaw set. "All right," he said. No more ropes. Lanterns gathered at a distance, a swarm. Men argued in their glow. The deputy's voice cut through. "Closer now," Cole said. "We start the clock." He tied his bandana around her wrist and the iron, loose but firm. He planted his boots, one at the line, one back. "If I tell you to drop, drop," he said. "What will you do?" "Turn their feet in their thinking," he said. "Also, make it rain at the wrong time." "Rain?" she asked. He moved to the stake and lifted the cord a hair. The plank in the gate creaked. The ditch's voice deepened. "Only for a minute when I tug," he said. "Just enough." The first rank of men stepped onto the flats. The deputy marched at the front with a rope in one hand, a warrant in the other. Pike walked behind. "Good evening," Pike called. "Let's be civilized." "Then wait for dawn," Iris said. "And bring a pen that isn't yours." Pike's smile did not stir. "Take her," he said. Cole drew a breath and laid a hand on the cord. The night leaned in, listening. Cole pulled the cord. The wedge jumped. The headgate plank slammed up, and water rushed across the flats. Men checked their steps. The front rank wavered. The deputy cursed and lifted his rope as if height could stop water. Cole didn't wait. He nudged the hidden stones. They rolled under boots. 2 guards stumbled. One dropped his lantern. Flame hissed out in the wet. Back a pace, Cole called. You're on soft ground. Pike's voice cut through the night. Forward. She's one woman. She is a name, Iris said, palm firm on stone. So are the rest you took. The deputy pushed through the splash. His boot hit the brush-covered trench. He pitched forward with a shout and landed on his hands. Laughter rose, then died when Pike turned his head. Cole set the iron rod upright, let go for a beat so the trap rock clacked, and every eye ticked to it. In that blink he stepped left, snapped a rope across ankles, and put 2 men down. No guns were fired. He had picked the kind of fight they could lose without blood. You feel it? He said to Iris low. They're not here for law. They're here for pay. And pride, she said. That breaks faster than bone. The deputy got up, face dark. He drew a set of cuffs. Hold her, he barked. I'll do it myself. Cole rested the rod across his shoulders like a yoke. Deputy, he said. You cross this crease, you answer to the judge. You answer to the town hearing you now. As if to prove the point, a bell clanged from a farm lane. Another answered from the church. Lights moved along fences, families coming as witnesses. Pike saw the lights and raised a hand. From the dark, 4 riders swept wide, skirting the wet, angling for the marker from the east. Flank, Cole said. They'll try to touch the stone and claim the turn. Iris's fingers tightened. If they do that, they won't need me. They need you, Cole said. You carry the names. You hold the proof. You hold me. He ran 8 strides and tugged a second cord laid through the grass. Scrapboards toppled with a clatter. Horses shied. One rider kept his seat and came on. Cole met him at the washout packed with brush. He feinted right, then stamped the crust. The horse put a foreleg through and sank. The man pitched, rolled free, swung. Cole caught his arm, turned his weight, and laid him in the water. The other 3 veered toward the ditch boards. Cole yanked the main cord again. The plank kicked higher. A stronger gush ran, loud and cold. The riders had to pick their way. Time opened. Widow Arnett, Iris called. Torres boys, bring shovels. Harris, bring your ledger. Deacon, bring your bell, voices answered. A wagon lantern lifted. Footsteps rushed on ridges. The camp was listening now. Teamsters leaned on the rails and did not move to help Pike. Pike watched all of it. A tendon jumped in his jaw. He stepped forward, boots deliberate. Mercer, he said mildly. Pretty show. But paper is paper, it burns. When the judge asks for proof, what will you bring? Truth and names, Iris said. Truth without documents is wind, Pike said. The company keeps records. Written by your hand, Cole said. Pike's eyes slid to the iron, to Iris's hand, to the cord by Cole's boot. He saw more than he liked. He looked back at his men. Hold the edges, he said. No one touches that marker until I say. He lifted his chin at the deputy. Bring me that paper. The deputy did not charge the front. He took 3 men and walked wide into the dark as if heading home. Then he turned behind a hedgerow and began a slow curve toward the marker's blind side. Cole caught the move. East hedge, he said. They're coming like shadows. What do we do? Iris asked. We make shadows louder than steel, he said. He struck the iron rod against the stones 3 times. The sound rang across the flats like a bell. The deacon's bell answered, closer now. A wedge of townsfolk crested a lane, lanterns high. We are here, a woman called. And we are seen, Iris answered. Judge at dawn. Hold until then. The deputy's curve slowed. He had no cover left that didn't pass under watching eyes. Still he kept coming. Cole stepped back to Iris's side. Midnight is the hinge, he said. If they can't break us before then, fear will change saddles. Then we hold to midnight, she said. We do more, he said. We make midnight work for us. How? By telling a story they can't shout over. He nodded toward the town road. Here comes our chorus. Lanterns grew on the road like small moons. Farmers, wives, older sons, and 2 girls with shawls came. They stood on the rise close enough to see the stone and the hands upon it. The deacon set his bell on the ground as if the church had walked to the field. "We are witnesses," he said. Pike smiled. "Witness the law," he said. "Deputy, do your work." The deputy held a rope and a paper. "Warrant for Iris Vale," he said. "Signed by me." "That is not a judge's hand," Iris said. "It is the hand that counts tonight," he said. They moved in a slow V. Cole did not raise a gun. "Town," he said. "We carry proof of a false ledger. We will show it to a real judge. Until then, the law says stand and hold." The deputy and 3 men slid along the hedgerow to the east. Cole leaned toward Iris. "When I say drop, fall and keep your palm pressed." "I understand," she said. The deputy sprang. He did not aim at Cole. He went low for Iris. 2 men seized Cole at the shoulders. A third chopped at his knee. Cole dropped his weight and twisted. 1 man slipped. Cole drove an elbow back and broke the other's grip. The third caught his ankle. He stumbled. The deputy reached Iris. "Drop," Cole shouted. Iris folded. Her hand slid along the top stone and pressed hard. The deputy clamped her arm. She did not lift her palm. "Stand up," he said. "Her hand is on the claim," Cole said. "You drag her off and the whole town sees you break the line." "Then I'll blind the town," the deputy said. He snatched a sack from his belt, snapped it open and swung it for Iris's head. Cole had no clean shot. Pistols would invite pistols. He threw his rifle instead, hard at the deputy's elbow. Wood hit bone. The sack missed. The deputy swore and let go to clutch his arm. Iris was free but swaying. Cole lunged. 2 men caught him again. He let them go for 1 step, then rolled and dragged them. They fell across the brush-covered trench. Hidden stones spilled. Men stumbled. Pike did not move. He watched like a man watching dice. Cole came up on 1 knee. His rifle lay in the wet. The deputy reached it first and leveled it. "Stay," he said, "or I shoot." Iris's hand still pressed the stone. She looked from the deputy to Cole. "You will not shoot," she said. "There are children here." The deputy's mouth twisted. The deacon stepped 1 pace and set his hand on the bell. "Son," he said, "if you spill blood on a claim, you'll drink that stain all your days. Lay the rifle down." Silence held. Then the deputy fired into the air. The crack tore the night. Horses shied. A baby cried. Cole used the noise. He grabbed the barrel and wrenched. The rifle flew, slid through mud, and thunked against a stone. The deputy punched his cheek. Pain flashed. Cole moved inside the man's reach, hooked his heel, and tipped him. They hit the ground. 3 guards rushed in. The crowd on the rise took 2 steps, then stopped. Iris lifted her voice. "Names," she called. "Widow Arnett." "Torres Harris." "Come stand with me." "Put your hands on the stone with mine." The widow came first, small and fierce. She set her palm beside Iris's. The Torres brothers followed. Harris came with his ledger and laid it on the top stone without moving the hands. 4 hands. 6. 1 guard looked at the hands, then at the faces watching. "Not for this pay," he said and stepped back. Another followed. The deputy scrambled up, muddy. He saw his men falter and drew his knife. Cole caught his wrist. They froze, breath on breath. "Choose," Cole said. "Your town or Pike." "Pike pays," the deputy said. "Then he can pay you to be alone," Cole said. The judge turned his wagon so its lamps faced the field. He did not come closer, but he was watching. The deputy felt the light. His grip eased. Cole took the knife and tossed it into the ditch. "We're done," Cole said. "Until dawn." The deputy spat and stepped away. Pike's smile thinned. "This is not over," he said. "Night is long." "Long enough to wake a valley," Iris said. "Long enough to drown a fool," Pike said. Cole wiped blood from his cheek with his sleeve. "We'll try not to drown," he said. "You try not to steal." The town breathed again. The bell did not ring. It sat heavy as a promise. Cole bent close to Iris. "Midnight," he whispered. Hinge turned. She nodded, eyes on Pike. "Then we hold the next hinge." "And we keep their eyes on our story," Cole said. It starts now. Iris drew a breath. Hear me, she told the crowd. Here are the names and the trick that tied them. Here is how we cut the knot. She opened the thin gray sheet, lifted it to the lamplight and began reading, steady and clear, name after name. Iris held the thin gray sheet and read names in a calm, clear voice. Heads lifted. People stepped closer to hear their lives spoken. Cole moved while she read. He checked chords, pressed the brush that hit a shallow trench, eyed the path from headgate to flats and from flats to the stone. Pike waited in the wet. He sent men to the ford and men to the hedgerow. Sip, Cole told Iris. Keep even. I will, she said. The deacon raised the bell and set it down. The deputy stayed in shadow, watching the gate in Cole's hands. Cole knelt at the gate. He set a second wedge under the plank, lower than the first, and ran a new cord to a forked stick. 2 ropes, he said. 1 for a shove. 1 for a shout. Men came back from the ford. Low there, one called. Easy to push. Then break that berm, Pike said, pointing at the curve of earth Cole had begun. Rush the stone. Cole brought the Torres boys and 2 farmers. They shoveled, lift, toss, tamp. Sacks came. The berm gained a shoulder. The deputy crawled into the ditch shadows with 3 men. Right side, Cole said. They want the seam. I see, Iris said and kept reading. Cole let them have 3 yards. Then he pulled the small cord. The plank heaved. A sheet of water slid over the grass and filled the seam to the ankle. The crawlers flinched. The deputy held pikes and 4 with planks as shields. The Torres boys lifted a lantern. Wrong shadows fell. 2 men stepped for a dry shape that was not there, and went knee-deep in the brush-packed wash. They howled. Hold, Cole said. Let them tire. A shot cracked. Dirt spat near the stone. People ducked. Iris did not. Her palm stayed. Her voice stayed. No more shots, the judge called from the road. Fire again and I'll jail you where the floor bites. Pike walked 2 paces toward the stone. Miss Vale, he said, palms open. You teach. Step off and go home. My home is water and names, Iris said. I leave when the law says leave. He turned his head. Deputy. 3 more slid forward on the left. Cole set fingers on the second cord. He waited for the lean before a bad choice, then pulled. The plank kicked. Cold water shoved the left advance back. Boots lost a purchase. A man slid. Iris's voice rose with it, steady and strong. He looked at the clouds. An hour, he said to the night. A rider left for the telegraph shack. The wire, Iris whispered. He'll ask for men and a stamp, Cole said. Will he get it? Maybe if the line wakes. Then we widen the town and ready the record, she said. We will, Cole said. He nodded to the deacon. Ring once. Speak the covenant. The deacon tolled the bell and read the old clauses. Water, right-of-way witness. The town repeated the words. Simple, heavy. Pike drew his men back to breathe and wait. Cole wrapped his bandana tighter around Iris's wrist and the iron. You need rest. I need you on your feet, she said. He leaned to her for 1 quiet second, then walked the line again. Men brought more sacks. The berm rose. Cole cut a spillway notch on the inside curve so if the ditch rose, water would leap where he wanted. The deputy tested the edge with a stick. It vanished in mud where brush hid the wash. You'll run out of tricks, he said. I'll run out when the sun comes, Cole said. Harris rattled up with his ledger. Put it on the stone, Iris said without lifting her palm. He laid it open where the lantern showed names and a clean hand, not Pike's. The deacon looked, then nodded. 2 books, Harris said. 1 true, 1 false. We show both at dawn, Iris said. A rooster tried the air. Time, Iris asked. Less than an hour, Cole said. He stepped forward 1 last time. Here's my offer, Pike said quietly. Walk away now. I take only you. You cannot take what I won't give, Iris said. Men. They came in a slow wave. Cole braced at the forked stick. He pulled the small cord for a shove, then the big cord for a shout. The gate jumped. Water ran hard, then roared. It hit the advance, broke it, spread cold over boots and pride, and carried it back. Lanterns trembled. Clouds thinned. Faces showed hope and fear together. Children pressed against skirts. The judge checked a watch and faced the field. Pike's coat hung wet. Deputy wiped his jaw and said nothing. "Dawn is near," Iris said. "Hold the last inch," Cole said. First light touched the fields. Frost lifted. Camp smoke lay low. People edged closer to the stone. The deacon held his bell. Harris held his ledger. Children stared at the iron rod. Cole checked the cords. The berm held. The spillway notch shivered with a thin sheet of water. He tested the small rope, then the big one. Both would answer. Iris kept her palm on the top stone. Cole's bandana looped her wrist to the rod. The thin gray sheet lay flat under her bodice. The debt page was there too, warm from her skin. She watched the bank where Pike's men gathered. "Dawn soon," she said. "It's the dangerous minute," Cole said. Pike raised his hand. "Now." The push came at the ford in a wedge, 6 men wide. 2 carried planks. Behind them, 3 shoved a wagon like a wall. The deputy trotted on the flank with rope and cuffs. Cole planted his feet at the forked stick. Let them spend the first charge. The wedge hit the shallow run, splashed, and drove. Cole pulled the small rope. The headgate plank jumped and threw cold over boots and belts. Men cursed but kept coming. The wagon's wheels dug. The line pushed harder. "Again?" Iris asked. "Not yet," Cole said. The wagon reached a dry patch. The plank men planted near the berm and heaved to climb it. Cole took the big rope and waited for the lean before making a bad choice. Then he pulled. The plank slammed up. Water roared through the notch he had cut. It struck the berm's inside curve, leaped, and poured across the wedge like a falling curtain. The first rank broke. Men stumbled and dropped. The wagon slewed. One wheel bit mud on the axle. "Hold!" the deputy shouted. Cole stepped into the flood, caught a plank like a shield, and used the current like a hand to shove the wagon backward. The driver tumbled. The wedge bent back to the road. Pike yelled. "Circle to the dry!" They tried. The brush-packed wash woke up, swallowed 2 boots, and spat curses. A man hurled his plank and ran. Another dropped his rope and backed away with palms high. The judge rose in his wagon and blew 2 notes on his tin whistle. "Court is open," he called. "Bring your matter to the market." Pike wiped his face and smoothed his coat. He walked with the deputy behind him and stopped short of the stone. "Proceed," the judge said. He set a Bible on the wagon board. "Swear, then speak." Harris stepped first. He swore. "This is our ledger," he said. "My hand keeps it. It shows loans and hours. It does not show surrender of water." The judge looked to Iris. "Miss Vale." Iris did not lift her hand from the stone. "I will speak from here. That is lawful," the judge said. She spoke plainly. "This debt page bears my name. I signed it when my cousin was sick." The amounts rose without reason. A red seal covered a second sheet. We warmed the wax and lifted the thin page. It shows a false plan. One bold ditch that feeds the rail spur first. It ties names to the surrender they never gave. The signatures match in curl and pressure. One hand wrote them. She drew the thin sheet from her lining with her free hand and held it up. Light showed faint letters and lines. Gasps moved through the crowd. The judge set the thin page beside Harris's ledger. He studied both. "Who pressed this wax?" he asked. "Pike," Iris said. Pike smiled, but his eyes cooled. "A lady imagines," he said. The judge rubbed grit on the wax rim. "This holds sand from this field," he said. "Not a clerk's clean desk." Cole set his hand beside Iris's again. "Ask who pays him." "I take pay from the company," Pike said. "Did you or your agent forge these names?" The judge asked. Pike lifted his chin. "Prove it." Iris held up the wax skin they had peeled. "We can. Set this on fresh paper with soot and oil and the writing will show." The judge nodded. "Deacon, lamp." Harris, a sheet. Teamster, axle grease, they brought them. The judge warmed the wax skin, set it on a blank page. pressed with the Bible's cover, then brushed a breath of soot and a scratch of grease across it. Letters woke faint on the sheet. A bold line curved. Names appeared. So did the same tight curl at each signature. A child whispered, "Mama, that's our name." Pike stared at the page and then at the faces. His men shifted as if standing on boards over cold water. The judge lifted his eyes. "I will take more sworn words," he said. "Then I will rule. After testimony." The judge took oath after oath. Widow Arnett swore she never gave up her water. The Torres brothers swore they were told they owed more each week until they signed or starved. Harris swore the company ledger Pike used was not kept by him or any clerk he knew. Pike kept his smile, but his fingers worked like they wanted a pen that wasn't there. "They are frightened," he said. "Fear makes liars." Iris spoke again, steady. "Fear made us quiet. Proof made us speak." The judge nodded. He turned to the deputy. "Swear and tell me who brought Miss Vale to the auction?" The deputy hesitated, then put his hand on the Bible. "I did," he said. "Under what warrant?" He swallowed. "Company paper, not court paper. Who told you to act on it?" The deputy looked at Pike. Pike's face was calm. The deputy looked at the town. Children watched him like they would remember. "Pike," the deputy said. His shoulders dropped as if a weight slid from them. He said it was the law. "I knew better." "Thank you," the judge said. "Step back." Pike lifted his chin. "A deputy's shame is not evidence." The judge turned the thin page so the morning light struck the faint lines. "This is," he said. "So is the wax skin. So are the matching curls at the end of every name." He faced the crowd. "Anyone here swear a company clerk took your name?" No one spoke. Head shook. "I will rule," the judge said. Pike raised a hand. "Before you do, ask this. Will a railroad spur feed this town? Will work come if water runs first to it? Do you want prosperity or pity?" The deacon answered, voice even. "We want clean hands." Harris set his ledger beside the Bible. "We want the ditch we dug for our children." The judge took a breath. "Here is the law," he said. "A claim made at the section marker stands until hearing. Fraud voids contracts. A deputy shall not act on company paper. A seal that hides a second sheet is a trick, not a stamp. On sworn testimony and the proof of this wax lift, I void the forged debts and the surrenders tied to them. Water rights return to the names that held them. The ditch will run by the old order, not by the false plan." A sound went through the crowd like wind through grass. Relief, shock, a little laughter that sounded like tears. Pike did not move. "You make a mistake," he said. The company may appeal in a court with walls," the judge said. "Until then you will not touch this marker, this woman, or this ditch." Two of Pike's men let their ropes fall. One unbuckled his gun belt and held it out to the deputy, who stood frozen. "Lay down arms," the judge said. "All who stand with the forged plan will face charges. Those who set down weapons and give names will face fines and mercy." Ropes dropped. A plank slid from a hand and thumped in the mud. The wave that had pressed the ford turned into men stepping backward, looking smaller with each step. Only Pike stayed bright and hard. He reached for the debt page with a quick snatch. Cole was already moving. He caught Pike's wrist, turned it, and set him on a knee without flourish. "Enough," Cole said. Pike hissed through his teeth. "You think this ends with paper?" "It starts with paper," Iris said. "It ends with water and work and trust." The judge pointed to two teamsters. "Help me with the record." They lifted the Bible, Harris's ledger, the thin sheet printed with the lifted words, and the wax skin, and set them in the wagon chest. The judge locked it. "This proof is under court," he said. "It will ride with me." The deputy stood between Pike and the road, hands empty. He looked at Cole, not quite asking. "Choose right again," Cole said. The deputy nodded once. He faced Pike. "You're under arrest for fraud and unlawful restraint." Pike laughed once sharply. "On whose rope?" "Mine," the deputy said with no pride in it. "And under his whistle," he added, nodding at the judge. Pike looked at the town again and saw no help. He straightened his coat as if it mattered. "You'll miss the spur," he said to no one, then put his hands behind his back. The deputy tied them. Iris's hand was still on the stone. She let out a breath she had held for hours. Cole eased the bandana from her wrist. "You can rest it now," he said. "Not yet," she said softly. "There's one more thing to decide." She reached into her bodice lining and drew out the thin gray sheet and the first debt page, the originals. The judge frowned. "Miss Vale, the court has the proof it needs." "You need not—" "I know," she said. She looked at Cole. "When you said burn them, you meant mercy. I stopped you because the town needed a blade." She held both pages up so all could see. "Now the law has copies. The truth is told. The valley is safe." Cole searched her face. "What do you choose?" Iris looked at the crowd, at the creek whispering in its true bed, at the children who would drink from it, at the man who had stood with her without a gun in his hand. She walked to the small iron stove the teamsters had brought to warm coffee near the wagon. Cole glowed red. She waited, measuring the moment like it mattered, which it did. "Cole Mercer," she said, voice steady. "What do we do with the past when it's done its work?" He did not answer for her. "You tell me." She fed the first page to the coals. It curled and blackened. She fed the second, the thin gray sheet with its ghosts of names, and watched it turn to ash until no letter could be read. Gasps rose again. Then a quiet settled that was not fear. It was a choice. Cole looked at her as if a door had opened. "Judge," Iris said, "make your record, but let the town live by trust." The judge bowed his head once. "So noted," he said. The deacon lifted the bell and rang it, not as a warning but as a mark. Water hissed in the notch and ran bright. Pike stood tied, small now. His men looked at the ditch instead of him. Cole took Iris's hand, the one that had held the stone all night. "Well, it's over," he said. "It's beginning," she answered. The field did not cheer. It breathed out and moved like a town with work again. Men lifted the wagon from the rut. Women gathered children. The deacon tied the bell rope to his saddle horn and watched the water run. The judge shut his wagon chest. "I'll file in Grafton by noon," he said. "Any who wants to add a sworn line, come." Harris climbed up. 2 men joined. The judge tipped his hat to Iris and Cole. "You held to the stone," he said. "That holds a valley." The deputy stood with Pike roped. "Miss Vale," he said, "I took a bad road. I won't take it again." "Make it right," Iris said. "Tell the truth under oath and then help repair the ditch." He nodded. He looked at Cole. "You had shots you didn't take." "Thank you." Cole gave a small nod. "Keep the peace by daylight, not by sacks." Teamsters fed the coals with scrap. Iris watched the last fleck curl to nothing. She felt lighter and steadier, like a plank set true under her feet. Pike tried a smile. It moved no one. The deputy led him toward the road. People did not jeer. Cole loosened the bandana from Iris's wrist and folded it neatly. "You cut that knot," he said. "You could have kept the proof. You burned it." "I kept the people," she said. She touched the iron rod. "We hold by more than paper." Water ran bright through the notch and back to the old curve. Children tossed pebbles and laughed. Widow Arnett set a hand on Iris's shoulder. "You come for stew at noon," she said. "Bring this one." She meant Cole. "We will," Iris said. "Before stew," the deacon said, "we set the boards right." Torres boys fetch nails. "Harris, bring pitch." "Cole, you know the gate." Miss Vale, mark who lost what. Work began. Cole showed 2 lads how the wedge sits when you want a shove but not a break. Iris wrote the hours people promised, calling each by name. She looked up and met Cole's eyes. "You kept saying we," she said. "I meant it." He said, "Why?" "I have been a scout a long time," he said. "My trials end with a report and a ride out. Today I did not want to ride out." "Why not?" "Because a woman took my hand when I said burn them and taught me to wait for light. Because the land is worth the fight. Because it felt like the start of a life, not the end of a job." "I want a life too," she said. "A school at dawn in a barn. A line of willow at the ditch. A bench at the marker." "I can do that," he said. I can set posts and read clouds. I can make coffee and listen more than I talk. And when I say wait, she said, you will wait now? I will. He held out his arm. She took it. They walked the berm, checking edges and knots. The deacon smiled. If two people mean to stand together after sunrise, he said, come by the church. A promise is words, but words can be a roof if hands keep them up. I am not ready for a roof today, Iris said, but I am ready for a gate. A shared one, Cole said. At the lane where the ditch turns, she said. You cut it. I will bring oil for the hinges. We will hang a bell there, he said. Not a warning bell, she said. A dinner bell. He laughed softly. Near noon, Widow Arnett called, Stew! People drifted toward warmth. Cole and Iris stayed by the stone. The iron had a shine where their hands had held it. He touched it once, then looked over the water that was theirs and everyone's. Iris Vale, he said. Yes. I would like to build that gate with you, he said, and what swings behind it, she nodded. Then bring the posts, she said. Bring your strong coffee, too. He offered his hand. She took it. It felt like standing where a flood could not reach. They started for the lane. Behind them the ditch ran on. It would carry the thaw and summer shine. It would carry a boy's boat, a girl's leaf, and the water for bread. The marker stood quiet. The valley went back to work with a story to tell. Trust felt possible again for everyone who watched. Far off in the livery, a sack hung from a beam. No one would use it again. The only thing left to burn was supper if folks talked too long. They walked. The day widened. Two names began to fit beside each other like boards on a sound gate. If this frontier love pulled you in, tap like so more folks find it. Subscribe for clean Western romances every week and ring the bell. Tell me in the comments, what moment hit you hardest? The burn them line, the night at the marker, or the judge at dawn? I read every reply. Watch the next Western on your screen now.